Hello students, how are you? I think all you're fine. Yes. So students, today we are going to begin with the sixth paragraph of the What is Moral Action written by M.K. Gandhiji. Yes. In the previous class we read third and fourth paragraphs, and in those paragraphs we learned very neat and the understandable thing. What was there? There was a king Richard. Okay. And what was his act? Okay, for saving the rights, laws, rules, regulation of the peoples, he imposed some restrictions on his own kingdom, some that punishment for his own kingdom, and that punishment is not acceptable. Okay, where we read this, that punishment was not acceptable, and their king peoples are start opposing the king for his work. So you are not a good king, you have taken our restriction, so you are considered a one of the bad king here. So here, so then what happens? Due to some fear, due to some threat, or due to some that afraidness, what he do? He again gives their own right back to them. Okay, when he given the rights to the kingdom's people, then people then start saying this king is very good. What is the name of the king? Here the king is King Richard. Yes, and he is one of the double-minded king, and he is one of the clever king, and he did some moral action along with he did immoral action. And this king having some intention, he having some expectations, even some gain from the people. Why he want to put restrictions? Okay, why he want to keep his kingdom's people away from the rights, okay, and their demands? Because his kingdom peoples are demanding day by day something new, and it is not acceptable by the king, even by his kingdom. So keeping his population of the kingdom under his neck, for supervising all of them, by showing his power over the population of the kingdom, he shown his hegemony, he shown his power by stopping the rights, okay, laws, some orders, and some freedom of the people. So where in every kingdom people's having the freedom of speech. Freedom of speech means they can speak whatever they think. Freedom of expression, they can express whatever they think. Freedom of language, freedom of talking to each another. If these all restrictions are taken away from the people, if taken away from yourself, let's imagine if all these rights is taken away from us, then what happens? We couldn't able to speak with other peoples, we couldn't able to share our feeling, share our thinking with each another. Then what happens? The life will become useless. Then it is better to die rather than living. So it may happens, okay, when these kind of restrictions were kept on the peoples of any kingdom. So this thing is happening here in the King Richard's kingdom. He taken away all the rights from the peoples, and when the peoples were got angry, when the peoples of the kingdom got angry and disappointed, then they came and they chosen a path, okay, and chosen a way of violation, a way of strike, a way of agitation. Here agitation means that group of peoples or a vast number of peoples were fighting against the government or fighting against the leader, okay, and asking for some common demands, some common rights, okay, if it is restricted. And these peoples are fighting against the king, and they want their rights back. What are the rights? Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of language, freedom to talk each another, freedom to breathe, okay. These kind of life saving rights they are asking, but kingdom is not allowing them. Why? Kingdom want to show their power, show their hegemony over their people, and the peoples were so fed up with this king. Now people thought we should fight against this king, we should make a group and raise our voice against the king, against his work, we should look over this. Okay, these all things happened, but when the peoples came to fight against the king, and king deployed his army to fight against the people, but army of the king was defeated very easily, then what happens to king? King has to surrender. Okay, you pardon my population, I accept your rights, I give up your rights, okay, right to freedom, right to speech, right to expression back, and you can enjoy in my kingdom, and anyone can ask any questions, no one having any doubts. If I am answerable, I will answer. If I couldn't, then I will pay the fine. So here kingdom is telling that I am a labor of my people. He is giving some untrue faith, he is giving some that unjustifiable or unacceptable faith to the people. But what happens after many days, when whole kingdoms will sit silently, and here king raises his army, okay, and he revolted against the people. Now peoples were lazy, they couldn't do with such kind of big army, because king got some sufficient time to build his army, and he fought against the people. When they fought against the people, people couldn't able to defeat their army. Now what peoples have to give up, they have to give up their own freedom of speech, freedom of expression, each and everything, and no one can question the king. If the king's is right or wrong, no one have to decide, only king's what he decide, it is the final one. So this kind of dictatorship rule came, okay, in the kingdom of Richards. So here, where are you finding the moral and immoral thing here? The moral is the one, due to some threat, due to some fear and afraid, he given, okay, the rights back to the people, and it is a moral action. Okay, at that time people start thinking this king is a good, and he did very good thing for us, and this king can be considered a best king. Then what happens next? Okay, when the rights were taken back, when the people were silently sitting in their homes, and they were defeated by the army of the king, at that time the rights, okay, the demands were taken away from the peoples of Richard's kingdom. So here, giving moral action, doing something morality to the people in a moral action, in fear threat is a different one, but practicing the moral action in an immoral way, in an illegal way, is the way we shouldn't have to practice like this. This is what we learned from the fourth paragraph of this lesson, and it is already discussed in the online interaction class, and many of you understood also. Is it, students? Yes, fine. So here let's begin with the fifth paragraph. Here, before teaching you fifth paragraph, this lesson consists of all moral and immoral action, okay, of our life, and it is their own life experience of the Mahatma Gandhiji's, okay, and this life experience is written here in this extract, and very beautiful extract is this, as we know and as we read all of them. So now let's begin with the fifth paragraph here. So this paragraph we have to begin with. Okay, what is there in this paragraph? Yes, so here we are reading, just as a moral action should be free from fear or compulsion, so should there be no self-interest behind it. This is not to say that actions prompted by self-interest are all worthless, but only that to call them moral would detract from the dignity of the moral idea. Okay, that honesty cannot long endure, which is practiced in the belief that it is the best policy. Okay, as Shakespeare says, love born out of the profit motive is no love. Then what the Shakespeare is telling here? As Shakespeare says, love born out of the profit motive is no love. So what it is all. See, with the help of this quote, you are seeing this quote here? Yes. This is the very meaningful quote written by the Shakespeare. Let's read it out. Love born out of the profit motive is no love. See, a love from your parents. Every parents are loving you. Is it? Yes, every parents are loving to their kids. Yes, kids are loving their parents. Yes, most of you. Most of you loving your parents. But for any intention, for any expectation. So you kids having an intention of getting some pocket money from your parents. Is it? You are getting some pocket money from your parents to spend somewhere outside with your friends, to spend something useful thing you want to purchase it. So this is what expectation you having with your parents. While asking a pocket money, you can talk with your parents, mama and papa, please give me some amount because I want to go for a trip, I want to go for a tour, or I want to purchase something which is very helpful for me, just help me with some amount. Okay, when you speak in a very polite manner, in a very good words, your parents are totally convinced and they feel something sympathetic to their children or towards you. So they give up, okay, without bothering about anything. When they give up you a money, then you take that money and spend somewhere outside, and again another week, the whole week you leave out your parents, just leave out. Who is going to care for them? Okay, when next day will come, I will ask some money. Okay, I will just give up some, okay, bread, and I will ask for a money in a sympathetic manner, in a such a polite manner. So these all things you are planning. So that is why this sentence is taken here. What is this? Love born out of the profit motive is no love. Love born out of the profit motive is no love. What it means? If you having any profit motive behind any love, is not called as love. Here, the true love is the students who are going to respect their elders, respect their parents. If their parents are demanding from the students, they are going to accept that demand and they fulfill the demand of their parents, like scoring good marks in exams, like doing good things, and like getting good rewards, getting good remarks from their teachers, is what the parents are expecting from their parents. What your parents wants, that you should study good, you should score good, you should achieve some good marks, okay, so that your marks card will raise year by year. So many of you not caring at all, simply here roaming here and there, not studying at all, and giving some reasons for every actions. So it is a not good thing. Okay, so it is not a good love. Good love is what? The students who are accepting their parents what they want. If you are fulfilling your parents demand, the parents will also fulfill your demand. They give up everything what you want, they never bother about anything, okay, while fulfilling your demand. So their love should be pure one. You shouldn't keep any intention, expectation from the parents while loving them. You should, okay, you should obey them, you should respect them, you should fulfill their demands. Okay, these are the things which is included here in one quote. Okay, this one quote having a deep meaning. All right, you have to think about this. So students, so what is there in this paragraph? This paragraph is that if you want to do moral action, do moral action, which is very good. Okay, don't do any kind of action which couldn't harm the peoples, which couldn't harm the other people. Do moral actions, do some legal work. Okay, do not do some immoral action. If immoral action is practiced, then what happens? Illegal activities will occur. If illegal activities are occurred, then no one is going to give importance to you or to anyone else. Okay, if you are doing moral action with fear, threat, then what happens? Okay, and after some days you again practice immoral action due to some intention, okay, expectation from another people, then it is not considered a good action what you did here. So this is all about that. Here some action are doing because of self-interest. Okay, that actions prompted by self-interest are all worthless. If you having some self-interest from any action, then it is also worthless. If you are doing any action, that action carries each and everything. Okay, it should be service to the society rather than forcefully doing that action with another's orders and you are not interested for doing that action, then that action is considered a bad action, and that action having some self interest also. So students, while doing all these things, you have to take care about the moral and immoral actions with the self interest also. Okay, do moral action with no interest. Okay, it should be helpful in manner, it should be that helping in nature. Okay, now comes to 6 paragraphs. So what this 6 paragraphs tells us about? Yes, and before reading this 6 paragraph, this paragraph is divided into 2 parts because this paragraph is too big. So let's begin with this here. So students, what I am saying to you, just pause it and write it down main points in your fair notebooks, that things should be memorized by you. So it is more better to write in the notebooks rather than listening only. Okay, write it main points there and try to do revision also along with. Okay, now comes to 6th paragraph here. So this paragraph is divided in between 2 parts. Now let's begin with this. Just as an action prompted by the motive of material gain here on earth is non-moral, so also another done for consideration of comfort and personal happiness in another world is non-moral. That action is moral which is done only for the sake of doing good. A great Christian, Saint Francis Xavier, patiently prayed that his mind might always remain pure. For him, devotion to God was not for enjoying a higher seat after death. He prayed because it was man's duty to pray. The great Saint Teresa wished to have a torch in her right hand and a vessel of water in her left, so that with the one she might burn the glories of heaven and with the other extinguish the fire of hell. Okay, and man might learn to serve God from love alone, without fear of hell and without temptation of heavenly bliss. So students, this is very meaningful sentence we read here, till heavenly bliss. So what did you learn from this paragraph and another page, 2 or 3 pages? So what is there in these pages? Here, if we are doing any action, it may be moral, immoral, then there should be a helpful nature in it. So don't expect anything from anyone else. If you are expecting something, then you are not going to fulfill your demands. You are not going to fulfill your achievement, fulfill your aim, because for considering the aim, for achieving our aim, we should be polite, we should be helping in nature, our moral action should be good. Okay, we shouldn't follow immoral action. If we are not demanding anything, then what happens? Our action will, as it is in the service of the people, then people will say, yes, this person is very good, he helped me and he having a good nature. And a time comes, not people, even a good spiritual power is going to give you a good way and show you a good way in your life. So you have to do this, accept this, okay, while doing a moral and immoral action. Now, in this paragraph, you learned about 2 great personalities. Which are these 2 great personalities? We have a great Christian, Saint Francis Xavier. Okay, we have a great Christian, Saint Francis Xavier. Okay, what he say? Patiently prayed that his mind high always remain pure. Okay, he want to keep his mind in a pure state, in a peaceful manner. He shouldn't want to waste his time. All the day he want to sit idle, close his eyes, do meditation for a long minutes, for such a peaceful heart, for a peaceful mind. But his expectation for doing a meditation is peaceful mind, peaceful heart. Can we do meditation for any expectation? Along with, he is expecting that I am doing meditation because after death I want a heaven, I don't want a hell, because hell having a fire and heaven having a all around is peace is there. I want peace, so I want to gain a heaven rather than getting a hell. So this is what he wants to get from the God. But another great personalities, a great saint, a great monk, what she tells? A great Saint Teresa, she tells here, no, this is not a right thing. If Saint Francis, who is a Christian and he is doing a meditation and demanding heaven from God, it is not right. If doing meditation, do meditation without any expectation, without any intention, because meditation is considered for no any expectation, no any that intention. It is for only peace. We should get peace. We shouldn't demand any heaven or hell. If we do this, then we are a immoral person. We are a immorality kind of person. We are demanding something from the God. If you want to do meditation in front of the God, you should be moral in nature. So she is telling, and Teresa is having a torch in her right hand, in her left hand. Okay, she having a water. With the help of the right hand torch, she want to burn the heaven. With the help of the left hand, okay, water, she want to spoil the whole heaven here, so that people will not get fear from the God where they want to go. They want to go any of them, because they don't have any choices. Both are equal, so they don't having any choices here, and they are demanding simple thing from the God, and they will do meditation peacefully without any demand. So this is what we shouldn't keep any expectation, okay, for a betterment. We should do each and everything in a peaceful manner. This is what explained here in the 6th paragraph with the help of the two great personalities, which are these Saint Francis and another, okay, Saint Teresa. All right, so this is all about the first part of this paragraphs. Now students, let's begin with the another part of this portion. So we read till here, okay, heavenly, yes, we read till heavenly bliss. Now let's begin with, after this full stop, what is there. To preserve morality thus demands a brave man prepared to face even death. It is cowardice to be true to friends and to break faith with enemies. Those who do good out of fear and hatingly have no moral virtue, then what happens? Yes, Henry Clay, known for his kindness, sacrificed his convictions to his ambition. Daniel Webster, for all his great intellect and his sense of the heroic and the sublime, once sold his intellectual integrity for a price. By a single mean act he whipped out all his good deeds. This shows how difficult it is to judge the morality of man's action, because we cannot penetrate the depths of his mind. We have also the answer to the question raised at the outset of this chapter. What is moral action? Incidentally, we also saw which kind of man could live up to that morality. So in the last paragraphs, what we are learning, here we are getting an example of Henry Clay. Here Henry Clay is another great personality. What he did? He known for his kindliness. Okay, he's known for his politeness. He's known for his helping nature. He's known for his sympathy. He's known for his good feeling. So he known for his kindliness, sacrificed his conviction to his ambition. So he sacrificed his intention and expectation to gain some ambition. So what was his ambition? Okay, yes, Daniel Webster, for his great intellect and his sense of the heroic and the sublime, once sold his intellectual integrity for a price. Then what happens? Okay, Daniel Webster, he's a great intellect, he's a great educationist, and he knows each and everything. His sense of heroic and the sublime. He, for achieving ambition and expectation, he given up everything. So these are some great personalities. They given up their basic things for achieving their ambitions. So they are not considered here a moral active person. They can be considered here in here immorality personalities. Okay, so here you are getting one sentence here. Okay, it is cowardice to be true to friends and to break faith have no moral virtue. So it is worthless, it is coward, or it is our madness that if we make our friends enemy and we join our enemies as a friend, then it is our big madness, because our friends are like our friends. If you're joining enemies to our friends, then what happens? These enemies are going to spoil us. The friends who believe on us, who having a good faith, they are not going to do good things here. Okay, they are going to disturb us. So this is thing what is having here in this universe. That's why this abstract is written by M.K. Gandhi. We should accept our friend also, even though we have to talk with our enemies, but while talking we should take care. Are they okay? Are they good? Their intention is good, or they expecting something from us that it is going to spoil our life? We have to think this also. But for with our friends, we have to live in a friendship manner. We have to show our good friendliness to them. Okay, these are the things which should be accepted here in a better manner. And accepting our friend and talking to the enemies and judging their expectation, okay, judging their demand is also a good moral action. Okay, we shouldn't give up this. And along with, we learned here in this paragraph the two great personalities who given up everything for achieving their ambition. So they are not considered here immoral person. So they are considered an immoral person. All right. So let's read it further. This shows how difficult it is to judge the morality of man's action, because we cannot penetrate the depths of his mind. We have also the answer to the question raised at the outset of this chapter. So we cannot judge the moral action of the person, because we don't know what is there in the heart of the person. We have to observe them, what he is doing, for what intention is doing, for what expectation is doing. Every man having anything expectation from this universe. So we have to look over this. Here the peoples will get less who don't have any expectation, because in this universe more immoral persons came. Their immorality is increasing day by day. You are hardly finding some moral persons in this universe. So there are not morality in this universe. So you have to take care about this. So students, what is asked here? What is a moral action? So incidentally, we also saw such kind of man could live up to that morality. Okay, what is a moral action? So of man could live up to that morality. Here, what is a moral action? What we learned from whole the extract is what is a moral action. Let's define the moral action. Do good, do polite, okay, be helping nature with each and everyone. Think good for others is a moral action, without any expectation, without any intention. Immoral action, having some intention, having some expectation, and you having the immorality in your attitude, okay, for someone. Okay, moral action with legal action and illegal action is there. Immoral action is always for illegal action. So this is what we have to learn from the whole lesson. So student, what I am telling, pause it, write it in your fair notebooks and have a look over it. So for the time being, bye bye, take care, and complete the questions and answers also. It is easy one. Some difficult questions I will share with you. Okay, bye bye students, have a nice day, take care.